Lisa Martinez walked out of her apartment building at 6:30 in the morning, just like every other day. The cold Chicago wind hit her face as she pulled her old jacket tighter around her body. She carried a small paper bag in one hand and a coffee cup in the other. Her shift at Chicago General Hospital started at 7, but she always left early now. The old man was sitting in his usual spot beside the building entrance. He sat on a piece of cardboard with his back against the brick wall. His gray hair was messy and his clothes were dirty and torn. A thick brown coat covered his shoulders, but Lisa could see it had holes in it. The man's hands were rough and his face was covered with an unshaven beard. Most people walked past him without looking, but Lisa always stopped. "Good morning, Frank," she said with a warm smile. She had asked his name 3 weeks ago when she first started bringing him food. He had looked surprised that someone wanted to know. "Good morning, Miss Lisa," Frank replied. His voice was deep and clear. Lisa noticed, not for the first time, that he spoke very well. His words were careful and proper, not like many of the homeless people she met at the hospital. But she never asked questions about it. Lisa handed him the paper bag and the coffee. "I made you a turkey sandwich today, and the coffee is black, just how you like it." Frank took the food with both hands. "Thank you. You are very kind." He always said the same thing, but his eyes showed real gratitude. They were unusual eyes, Lisa thought. They were clear blue and seemed to hold intelligence, like he was thinking about things she could not understand. "You stay warm today, okay?" Lisa said. "The weatherman said it might rain." Frank nodded. "I will be careful. You have a good day at work." Lisa waved goodbye and walked toward the bus stop. She did this every single morning for the past 3 weeks. It had started by accident. She was running late for work and had made an extra sandwich. She saw Frank sitting there and something made her stop. Maybe it was the way he looked so alone, or maybe it was because her mother had always taught her to help others when she could. The truth was, Lisa did not have much money to spare. She worked 2 jobs to pay her bills. During the day, she was a nurse at Chicago General Hospital. 3 nights a week, she worked at a small clinic in a poor part of town. The money barely covered her rent, student loans, and food. She also sent $200 every month to help her younger brother Kevin pay for college. But every morning, she made that extra sandwich. Every morning, she bought that extra coffee. It cost her about $5 a day, which was $35 a week. That was money she could use for other things, but somehow it felt important to do this. At the hospital, Lisa worked in the emergency room. She helped people who were hurt or sick. Many of them were poor, just like Frank. Some were homeless too. She saw how other people looked at them, with fear or disgust. But Lisa had learned that everyone had a story. Everyone deserved kindness. "You're here early again," said Betty, the other nurse who worked the morning shift. Betty was older and had worked at the hospital for 20 years. "I like to get here with time to spare," Lisa said, as she put on her uniform. "You look tired. Honey, are you working too much?" Lisa shrugged. "We all work too much, that's life." Betty watched her with concern. "You need to take care of yourself too, you know." Lisa smiled. "I'm fine. Let's see what today brings us." The day was busy, like most days. Lisa helped a man who had broken his arm. She took care of a woman who was having trouble breathing. She held the hand of a scared child while the doctor gave him stitches. This was why she became a nurse. She wanted to help people feel better. During her lunch break, Lisa sat in the hospital cafeteria and ate a small salad. She thought about Frank, wondering if he was staying dry. The rain had started around 10 o'clock, just like the weatherman had said. "Hey, Lisa," said Tony, one of the doctors. "Can I sit with you?" "Of course," Lisa said. Tony was a good doctor and a kind person. He had asked Lisa out for dinner twice, but she had said no both times. Not because she did not like him, but because she was too busy and too tired for dating. "I wanted to ask you something," Tony said. "My cousin owns a restaurant downtown. He's looking for someone to work weekends. It pays well. Are you interested?" Lisa thought about it. More money would be nice. She could pay off her student loans faster, She could send more money to Kevin, but working weekends meant she would have no free time at all. "Thanks for thinking of me," she said, "but I think I'm working enough already." "You sure? The money is really good." "I'm sure, but I appreciate it." After work, Lisa stopped at the grocery store. She bought bread, turkey, and coffee for the next morning. She also bought some soup cans that were on sale. Maybe Frank would like some warm soup on cold days. When she got home, Frank was not in his usual spot. Lisa looked around but did not see him anywhere. She felt worried. Where did he go when it rained? Did he have somewhere safe to stay? She went upstairs to her small apartment. It was not much, just one bedroom, a tiny kitchen, and a living room that was barely big enough for a couch and television. But it was warm and dry, and it was hers. Lisa made herself dinner and sat down to pay her bills. The numbers were tight, like always. After rent, utilities, student loans, and the money for Kevin, she had very little left. But she had enough for food and the extra sandwich each morning. Her phone rang. It was Kevin. "Hey, sis," he said. "How was your day?" "Good. Busy. How are your classes going?" "Really hard. This astrophysics stuff is complicated. I'm having trouble with some of the advanced concepts." Lisa felt bad that she could not help him with his studies. She was smart, but not about space. And stars and physics. "You'll figure it out," she said. "You're the smartest person I know." "Thanks. I don't know what I'd do without you, Lisa. The money you send really helps. That's what family is for." After she hung up, Lisa looked out her window. She could see the spot where Frank usually sat, but it was empty. She hoped he was somewhere, safe and warm. Tomorrow morning she would make another sandwich and buy another coffee. And she would look for Frank, hoping he would be there with his clear blue eyes and his careful way of speaking. It was a small thing, but it felt important. It felt right. Lisa did not know that her simple act of kindness was being watched. She did not know that Frank was not who he seemed to be. And she definitely did not know that her daily routine was about to change everything, not just for her and Frank, but for all of humanity. Frank was back in his usual spot the next morning. Lisa felt relief when she saw him sitting there with his cardboard and old coat. She had worried about him all evening. "Good morning, Frank," she said, handing him the sandwich and coffee. "I was worried when you weren't here yesterday evening." Frank looked surprised that someone had noticed he was gone. "I found shelter in the subway station when the rain got heavy. Thank you for thinking of me." "Of course, we all need to look out for each other." Frank studied her face carefully. "You really believe that, don't you?" "Yes, I do." Lisa checked her watch. "I have to go, but stay safe today." As the days passed, Lisa and Frank began talking more. Their conversations started lasting 5 or 10 minutes instead of just quick hellos. Lisa discovered that Frank was very smart. He knew about many things that surprised her. One morning, Lisa looked tired and frustrated. "Rough night at work?" Frank asked. Lisa sighed. "We had a patient come in with a strange infection. The doctors tried 3 different antibiotics, but nothing worked. The poor man was in so much pain." Frank was quiet for a moment. "Did they try combining tetracycline with a small amount of silver sulfadiazine?" Lisa stared at him. "What did you say?" "Sometimes infections that resist normal antibiotics respond to older treatments mixed in specific ways. Silver has natural antibiotic properties." "How do you know about medicine?" Frank looked uncomfortable. "I read a lot. Libraries have medical books." Lisa was curious but did not push him. "I'll mention it to Dr. Rodriguez, thank you." The next day, Lisa had exciting news. "Frank, that treatment you suggested worked. The patient is getting better." Frank smiled, but it was a sad smile. "I'm glad he's okay." "You really know about medicine. Have you ever thought about going back to school?" Frank shook his head. "That life is not for me anymore." Lisa wanted to ask what he meant, but something in his voice told her not to. A few weeks later, Lisa had a different problem. "My brother Kevin is struggling with his college classes. He's studying astrophysics, but some of the concepts are really hard for him." "What kind of concepts?" Frank asked. "Something about gravitational waves and space-time curvature." I don't understand any of it. Frank's eyes lit up in a way Lisa had never seen before. Those are fascinating topics. Einstein's theory of general relativity explains how massive objects bend space and time. Lisa's mouth fell open. You know about Einstein? Frank caught himself and looked away. I've read some books. Frank, you seem to know about everything. Medicine, physics, literature. Who are you really? Frank was quiet for a long time. I'm someone who made mistakes, big mistakes. Now I try to live simply. Lisa could see pain in his eyes. She decided not to ask more questions. Instead, she had an idea. Would you be willing to help Kevin? Maybe explain some of these physics concepts to him? Frank looked shocked. You would trust me to talk to your brother? Of course, you're one of the smartest people I've ever met. Frank was quiet again. Then he nodded slowly. If you think it would help. That Saturday, Lisa brought Kevin to meet Frank. Kevin was nervous about meeting a homeless man, but Lisa had convinced him to try. Kevin, this is Frank. Frank, this is my brother Kevin. Kevin shook Frank's hand awkwardly. Nice to meet you, sir. Tell Frank about the problems you're having with your classes, Lisa said. Kevin explained his struggles with advanced physics concepts. As he talked, Frank listened carefully and asked smart questions. Then Frank began explaining things in ways that made sense. Think of space-time like a rubber sheet, Frank said. When you put a heavy ball on it, the sheet bends. Smaller balls, rolling nearby, will curve toward the heavy ball. That's how gravity works. Kevin's eyes got wide. That actually makes sense. My professor never explained it like that. They talked for 2 hours. Frank helped Kevin understand things that had confused him for weeks. When they were done, Kevin was amazed. Frank, you should be teaching at a university, Kevin said. Frank smiled sadly. I used to do something like that long ago. After Kevin left, Frank and Lisa sat quietly. Thank you, Lisa said. You just changed my brother's life. He's a smart, young man. He reminds me of myself at that age. What happened to you, Frank? You don't have to tell me, but I can see you're hurting. Frank looked at the sky. I lost someone very important to me. Someone who believed in helping others like you do. After she died, I couldn't live the same way anymore. Lisa felt tears in her eyes. I'm sorry. It was my fault she died. I should have protected her. Frank, whatever happened, I don't think you're the kind of person who would hurt anyone on purpose. Frank looked at her with surprise. How can you be so sure? Because I see how you are. You help people. You helped Kevin. You helped that patient at the hospital. Good people make mistakes. But they're still good people. Frank was quiet for a long time. You have more faith in people than they deserve. Maybe. But I'd rather believe in people and be wrong sometimes than never believe in anyone. The next week, Frank started tutoring Kevin regularly. Every Saturday they met in the small park near Lisa's building. Frank helped Kevin with physics, mathematics, and even some chemistry. Kevin's grades improved dramatically. I don't understand how Frank knows so much, Kevin told Lisa one day. He talks about scientific concepts like he's worked with them professionally, and his English is perfect. Most homeless people I've met have different speech patterns. Lisa had noticed the same things. Frank never used slang or incorrect grammar. He spoke like someone who had gone to expensive schools. One evening, Lisa was walking home from work when she saw something strange in the sky. There were lights moving in patterns that didn't look like airplanes. Other people on the street were pointing and talking excitedly. Are those UFOs? Someone asked. Lisa stared at the lights, feeling confused and a little scared. They moved too fast and changed directions too quickly to be normal aircraft. The lights disappeared after a few minutes, but the next day everyone was talking about them. The news showed similar lights over cities around the world. Scientists said they were investigating but had no explanations. Lisa told Frank about what she had seen. Strange lights in the sky, Frank said quietly. Do you think they were alien spaceships? Frank looked troubled. If they are, I hope they're more peaceful than the last ones. The last ones? Frank, what do you mean? Frank realized what he had said. I meant if there have been others before. I don't know anything specific. But Lisa could see that Frank was lying. There was fear in his eyes, and something else. Something that looked like terrible memories. That night, Lisa lay in bed thinking about Frank. Every day she learned something new about him. He was educated, intelligent, and kind. He knew about medicine and science and many other things. He spoke like someone from a wealthy family. He had mentioned losing someone he loved, and now he seemed to know about aliens. Who was Frank really, and why was he living on the street when he was clearly capable of so much more? Lisa didn't know that far above Earth, alien ships were watching and waiting. She didn't know that they had been studying humans for years, trying to understand their nature. And she didn't know that her daily acts of kindness toward Frank were being recorded and analyzed by beings from distant stars, who were trying to decide if humanity was ready for contact. 2 weeks after the strange lights appeared, Kevin called Lisa with exciting news. Lisa, you won't believe it. I got the highest grade in my advanced physics class. Professor Williams said my understanding of complex theories has improved amazingly. Lisa smiled as she walked to work. That's wonderful, Kevin. Frank is a great teacher. He really is. I don't know how to thank him, or you, for introducing us. Just keep working hard. That's all the thanks we need. When Lisa reached Frank's usual spot, she found him reading a newspaper. His face looked worried. Good morning, Frank. You look troubled today. Frank folded the newspaper and looked up at her. Have you been following the news about those lights in the sky? A little bit. The government says they're investigating. Lisa handed him his daily sandwich and coffee. Why? Do you think it's something serious? Frank was quiet for a moment. Lisa, what would you do if you found out that everything you thought you knew about the world was wrong? The question surprised her. I guess I'd try to learn the truth and deal with it the best I could. Why do you ask? No reason. Just thinking. Frank took a sip of his coffee. You're a good person, Lisa. Don't let anyone change that about you. Lisa felt confused by his serious tone. Frank, you're scaring me a little. Is everything okay? Before Frank could answer, Lisa's phone buzzed with an emergency alert. She read it, and her face went pale. What is it? Frank asked. There are massive objects in the sky over major cities around the world. The government is telling everyone to stay calm and stay indoors. Frank closed his eyes and took a deep breath. It's happening again. What's happening again? Frank, what do you know about this? Frank stood up quickly. Lisa, you need to get to the hospital right away. People are going to panic and there will be accidents and injuries. Your patients will need you. But what about you? Where will you go? Don't worry about me, just focus on helping people. That's what you do best. Lisa wanted to ask more questions, but her phone was ringing. It was the hospital calling all nurses to come in immediately. I have to go, she said. But Frank, please be safe. Find somewhere secure to stay. Frank nodded. You be safe too, Lisa. Remember what I said about not letting anyone change who you are. Lisa ran to catch the bus, her mind full of questions. How did Frank know people would panic before it even happened? Why did he seem to know something about these events? At the hospital, chaos had already begun. People were flooding into the emergency room, not because they were injured, but because they were terrified. The news was showing enormous ships hovering over New York, London, Tokyo, and dozens of other cities. Lisa, thank God you're here, said Dr. Rodriguez. We need all hands on deck. People are having panic attacks, heart problems from stress, and there have been several car accidents from people driving while distracted by the sky. Lisa put on her uniform and got to work. She helped an elderly man who was having chest pains from fear. She calmed down a woman who was hyperventilating. She bandaged a child who had been hurt when his father crashed their car while staring at the alien ships. The news played on televisions throughout the hospital. A clear, calm voice was speaking in perfect English from the ships. People of Earth, we are the Galactic Confederation. We come in peace. We have been observing your species for many years. We attempted contact with your kind once before, but that encounter ended in tragedy. We wish to try again, with better understanding this time. A reporter asked, "What do you want from us?" "We want to determine if humanity is ready to join the community of intelligent species in this galaxy. We have learned that peaceful coexistence requires careful evaluation of a species' moral development." Lisa paused in her work to listen. The alien voice continued, "We will choose one human to represent your species in discussions about your future. This representative will be selected based on our observations of genuine character, not political power or social status." Patients around Lisa began talking nervously. "They're going to judge all of us based on one person," said an injured man. "What if they choose someone bad?" worried a woman holding her crying baby. Lisa tried to reassure them. "Let's just focus on taking care of each other right now. We'll deal with the rest as it comes." But privately, Lisa was terrified too. The last time aliens came to Earth, there had been tragedy. What kind of tragedy? And how did Frank know about it? Hours passed. Lisa worked without stopping, helping person after person. The hospital was overcrowded with people who were hurt, scared, or just looking for answers that no one had. During a brief break, Lisa called Kevin. "Are you okay?" she asked. "I'm scared, Lisa. Everyone at the university is panicking. Some students have gone home to be with their families. Stay where you are for now. It's safer than traveling. Have you seen Frank today?" "No, I went to the park where we usually meet, but he wasn't there." "Do you think he's okay?" Lisa felt worried. Where was Frank? Why wasn't he in his usual spot? "I'm sure he's fine," she told Kevin, though she wasn't sure at all. That evening, Lisa finally got a chance to go home. The streets were nearly empty. Everyone was staying indoors, watching the news and waiting to see what would happen next. When Lisa reached her building, Frank was not there. His cardboard was gone, and there was no sign that he had been there at all. Lisa went upstairs and turned on the news. The alien ships were still floating silently over major cities. Scientists and world leaders were giving interviews, but no one seemed to know what to do. "The aliens say they're looking for someone to represent humanity," said one expert. "But how are they choosing? What are they looking for?" Lisa thought about what the aliens had said. They wanted someone with genuine character, someone who represented the best of humanity. She wondered what that meant to beings from another world. Her phone rang. It was her friend Betty from the hospital. "Lisa, have you seen the news? They're saying the aliens have been watching certain humans for a long time. They have some kind of list of people they've been studying." "That's creepy," Lisa said. "Why would they watch specific people?" "I don't know, but it makes me nervous." "What if we're being watched right now?" After Betty hung up, Lisa sat in her small apartment feeling very alone. Outside, the world was changing in ways no one understood. The aliens were out there watching and judging humanity. Her friend Frank had disappeared at the worst possible time. Lisa made herself a simple dinner and tried to think about everything that had happened. Frank's strange knowledge, his comments about aliens, his fear when the ships appeared. There was something he wasn't telling her, something important. She decided that tomorrow, if Frank didn't return to his usual spot, she would look for him. Whatever was happening with the aliens, whatever secrets Frank was keeping, she needed to understand. The world was becoming a scary place, and the few people she cared about were all she had. Outside her window, one of the enormous alien ships moved slowly across the night sky, its lights pulsing in patterns that seemed almost like a heartbeat. Lisa watched it until it disappeared behind the buildings, wondering if somewhere inside that ship, alien beings were watching her too. She didn't know that they were. She didn't know that her name was already on their list of potential representatives. And she definitely didn't know that Frank, the homeless man she fed every morning, was the key to understanding why the aliens had come to Earth in the first place. 3 days passed without any sign of Frank. Lisa went to his usual spot every morning but found only empty sidewalk. She asked other homeless people in the area if they had seen him, but no one knew where he was. The alien ships continued floating over cities around the world. Every day, the Galactic Confederation made announcements about their search for a human representative. They said they were studying people carefully, but they never explained how or who they were watching. On the fourth morning, Lisa's phone woke her up with an emergency alert. There was a major fire in downtown Chicago. The message said all medical bar workers should report to help with the emergency. Lisa got dressed quickly and took the bus toward the fire. When she arrived, she saw that an entire apartment building was burning. Fire trucks and ambulances filled the street. People were running everywhere. Lisa reported to the emergency medical station they had set up in a nearby parking lot. "What can I do to help?" she asked the chief paramedic. "We need someone to help coordinate the evacuation of the building next door. It's not on fire yet, but the smoke is bad, and we need to get people out safely." Lisa ran toward the building. Smoke was coming from the windows and people were coughing and scared. She began helping elderly residents and families with children get out of the building and move to safety. As she helped an old woman down the stairs, Lisa heard a familiar voice giving clear, calm instructions to the fire department. "The water pressure will be better if you connect to the hydrant on Oak Street instead of the one on Main. The building's electrical system has a backup generator in the basement that needs to be shut off before you use water on the upper floors." Lisa looked around and saw Frank, but he was not dressed like a homeless man anymore. He was wearing clean clothes and a jacket, and he was talking to the fire chief like he knew exactly what to do. "Frank," Lisa called out. Frank turned and saw her. His face showed surprise and something that looked like guilt. "Lisa, what are you doing here?" "I'm helping with the emergency." "What are you doing here? And why do you look so different?" Frank hesitated. Around them, people were still evacuating, and firefighters were working to control the blaze. "I live in this neighborhood," Frank said. "I came to help when I saw the fire." "You live here? But I thought you were homeless." "Lisa, this isn't the time to explain. We need to help these people." Frank was right. Lisa pushed her questions aside and continued helping people evacuate. But she watched Frank carefully. He seemed to know exactly how to organize the rescue effort. He spoke with authority to the firefighters and paramedics. He knew technical details about the building's structure and safety systems. This was not the behavior of a homeless man who had learned things from library books. This was someone with professional training and experience. After 2 hours, the fire was under control and most people were safe. Lisa found Frank sitting on a bench near the emergency medical station. He looked tired and sad. "Frank, we need to talk," Lisa said, sitting next to him. Frank nodded. "I know. I owe you an explanation." "Who are you really?" Frank was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "My name is Dr. Franklin Hayes. I used to work for NASA as a xenobiologist." Lisa stared at him. "Xenobiologist? That means you study alien life, right?" "Yes. I was part of the first contact team 3 years ago, when the aliens came to Earth the first time." Lisa felt shocked. "You were there? What happened?" Frank's eyes filled with pain. It was supposed to be peaceful. The Galactic Confederation sent a small ship with ambassadors. They wanted to meet with human scientists and leaders to see if we were ready to join their community. But something went wrong. Everything went wrong. Some world leaders were afraid. They thought the aliens were lying about wanting peace. Military forces surrounded the landing site. When the aliens stepped out of their ship to meet us, soldiers started shooting. Lisa covered her mouth with her hand. "Oh no." 5 aliens died. 12 humans died too, including my wife Patricia. She was the lead linguist on our team. She was trying to protect the alien children when a soldier shot her. Tears ran down Frank's face. Lisa reached over and took his hand. "I'm so sorry, Frank. It was my fault. I should have known that fear would make people do terrible things. I should have protected her." "Frank, you couldn't have known what would happen." Frank shook his head. "After Patricia died, I couldn't go back to my old life. I had money from patents and government contracts, but I didn't want it. I gave most of it away and started living on the streets. I wanted to understand what humanity was really like at its worst, to see if we deserved another chance. Lisa began. To understand. That's why you were homeless. You were testing yourself or testing people. I was trying to see if anyone would show kindness to someone who had nothing to offer in return. Most people walked past me like I was invisible. But you stopped. Every day you stopped. Lisa felt tears in her own eyes now. Frank, what you went through was terrible. But living on the streets and punishing yourself won't bring Patricia back. I know that now. Watching you these past months, seeing how you help people without expecting anything back, it reminded me of her. Patricia always believed that humans were capable of great kindness. She was right. Frank looked at Lisa with clear, serious eyes. Lisa, there's something else you need to know. The Galactic Confederation has been watching you. Watching me? Why? They've been studying humans who show genuine compassion. They want to find someone who represents the best of humanity, someone who can prove that we're more than just a violent, selfish species. Lisa felt scared. Are you saying they want me to be their human representative? I think they're considering you. Your daily kindness to me, the way you help patients at the hospital, how you sacrifice for your brother's education. They see these things. But I'm just a nurse. I'm not a leader or a scientist or anyone important. That's exactly why you're perfect. You help people because it's right, not because you want power or fame. Lisa stood up and walked a few steps away. Frank, this is too much. I can't represent all of humanity. I don't know anything about aliens or space or diplomacy. Frank stood up too. You know about the most important thing? You know how to care about others. But what if I make, mistakes? What if I say the wrong thing and the aliens decide humans are not worth saving? Lisa, look around you. Frank pointed to the scene around them. Look at all the people who came to help with this fire. Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, volunteers like you. When there's an emergency, humans help each other. That's what the aliens need to see. Lisa looked at the emergency workers still helping victims of the fire. She saw people sharing food and water with strangers. She saw families comforting each other. The aliens made a mistake 3 years ago by only meeting with world leaders and military people, Frank continued. Leaders think about power and control, but you think about individual people and their needs. That's what makes you the right choice. What about you? You're the scientist. You understand the aliens better than anyone. Frank smiled sadly. I failed them once. I let fear and politics destroy the chance for peace, but maybe I can help make sure it doesn't happen again. How? By helping you. By being your advisor and translator. By making sure this time they meet the real humanity, not just the powerful and angry parts. Lisa looked at Frank, really seeing him for the first time. Not the homeless man she had been feeding, but Dr. Franklin Hayes, a brilliant scientist, who had lost everything and was trying to find a way to make things right. If I do this, if I try to represent humanity, will you help me? Yes, every step of the way. Lisa took a deep breath. The world had become a very complicated place, but one thing was simple. She cared about people, and people needed help. If the aliens wanted to judge humanity, maybe it was better that they judge it through someone who believed in its goodness, rather than someone who feared its darkness. Okay, she said. Let's do this together. 2 days after Frank revealed his true identity, the aliens made a special announcement. Every television, radio, and phone in the world received the same message at exactly the same time. People of Earth, we are ready to begin the final test. We have studied your species and selected a human representative. Lisa Martinez of Chicago will speak for humanity. Lisa was at work when the announcement came. Every person in the hospital stopped what they were doing and looked at her. She felt her face turn red and her hands shake. Lisa Martinez? Said Dr. Rodriguez. That's you. I can't do this, Lisa whispered. This is too big. Her phone rang immediately. It was Frank. Lisa, are you okay? I saw the announcement. Frank, I'm scared. Everyone is staring at me. What if I mess this up? You won't mess it up. Meet me at the park where I used to tutor Kevin. We need to prepare. Lisa left work early and went to the park. Frank was waiting. For her, along with Kevin, who had driven down from university. Lisa! Kevin ran over and hugged his sister. I can't believe the aliens chose you. This is incredible. It's terrifying, Lisa said. Frank looked serious. The aliens told me more about what they want. They're going to give humanity a test. What kind of test? They're going to share advanced medical technology with Earth. Technology that can cure most diseases and extend human life. But they want to see how we distribute it. Lisa frowned. What do you mean? They've watched other species fail this test. Usually, the rich and powerful get the new medicine first. The poor and weak are left to suffer. When that happens, the aliens decide that species is not ready to join the galactic community. Kevin looked confused. But that seems obvious. Of course we should share medical technology with everyone. Frank shook his head. It's not that simple. The medicine is expensive to make. There won't be enough for everyone at first. Someone has to decide who gets it and who waits. Lisa understood now. And they want me to make those decisions. Yes. You'll work with a team of doctors and scientists from around the world. But you'll be the final voice on how to distribute the medicine fairly. Lisa sat down on a park bench. Frank, I'm just a nurse. I don't know how to make decisions for the whole world. That's exactly why you're the right person. You think about patients, not politics. You care about helping the sickest people first, not the richest ones. But what if other world leaders disagree with my decisions? What if they try to stop me? Frank smiled. The aliens thought of that. They're giving you complete authority over the medical program. No government can override your decisions. Over the next week, Lisa worked with Frank to prepare for the test. They studied the alien medical technology and learned how it worked. They talked to doctors around the world about the best ways to help the most people. The aliens provided Lisa with a special communication device that let her talk to medical teams in every country. She also had access to detailed information about disease and poverty levels worldwide. When the test began, Lisa made her first big decision. Instead of starting in wealthy countries with good hospitals, she decided to begin in the poorest parts of the world. We'll start in refugee camps and areas where people have the least access to regular medicine, Lisa announced in a worldwide broadcast. The new treatments will go first to children, pregnant women, and the sickest patients, regardless of their nationality or ability to pay. Many world leaders were angry about this decision. This is backwards, said the president of a wealthy European country. We should perfect the treatments in advanced medical facilities first. The people in those facilities already have good medical care, Lisa replied calmly. The people in refugee camps have nothing. They need help first. Frank helped Lisa set up distribution centers in the most desperate places on Earth. Refugee camps in Africa, poor villages in Asia, areas devastated by war and natural disasters. The alien medicine worked amazingly well. Children who were dying from diseases were healthy within days. Elderly people who had suffered for years felt strong again. People who had been blind could see. But the real test came when wealthy countries demanded their share of the medicine. My citizens pay taxes and deserve access to this treatment, argued the leader of a rich nation. Lisa faced a difficult choice. There was enough medicine to help some wealthy countries, but it would mean less medicine for the poorest people. I understand your concerns, Lisa said during a video conference with world leaders. But we have to prioritize based on need, not wealth. Your citizens have access to hospitals and doctors. Many of the people we're helping have never seen a doctor in their lives. Some countries threatened to stop cooperating with the alien program. Others offered Lisa money to change her priorities. Lisa called Frank for advice. I'm getting so much pressure to help wealthy countries first. Maybe I'm making the wrong choices. Lisa, do you remember the patient who comes to your hospital emergency room? Which patient? All of them. When someone comes to the emergency room, do you help them based on how much money they have or based on how sick they are? Lisa understood. We help the sickest people first. It doesn't matter if they're rich or poor. Exactly. You're treating the whole world like your emergency room. The sickest people get help first. Lisa continued with her plan. The alien medicine went to the places with the greatest need. Slowly, diseases that had killed millions of people began to disappear from the poorest parts of the world. Something amazing happened. As people in desperate situations got better, they started helping others. Former refugees became medical workers. People who had been saved by the alien medicine volunteered to distribute it to others. Kevin, who had finished his physics degree with Frank's help, joined the program as a technical coordinator. He helped set up the equipment needed to make the alien medicine in different countries. "Lisa, you should see what's happening," Kevin told his sister during one of their daily calls. "People who receive the medicine are creating volunteer networks to help distribute it. They're not asking for payment or recognition. They're just helping because they want to help." The aliens were watching all of this carefully. Every few days, they sent Lisa messages through her communication device. "We are pleased with your distribution methods," one message said. "You prioritize need over wealth. This is unusual among the species we have tested. We have observed something interesting," said another message. "The humans who receive help are using their restored health to help others. This creates a cycle of assistance that grows stronger over time." After 2 months of the program, Lisa received a special message from the alien leadership. "Lisa Martinez, your species has passed the first part of our test. You have shown that humans can make fair decisions about distributing resources. But we have one more challenge for you." Lisa felt nervous. "What kind of challenge?" "Some of your world leaders are planning to take control of the medical program by force. They want to redirect the medicine to their own countries. How will you respond to this threat?" Lisa looked at Frank, who was reading the message over her shoulder. "What should I do?" she asked him. Frank smiled. "You should do what you always do. Take care of the people who need help most. But if they use military force to stop the program, people will die. Then we'll have to find a way to protect the program without using violence ourselves. That's what Patricia would have done." Lisa nodded. She was beginning to understand that this test wasn't just about distributing medicine. It was about whether humans could choose cooperation over conflict, even when faced with threats. The real challenge was just beginning. Lisa would have to find a way to continue helping the world's most vulnerable people while powerful forces tried to stop her. But she wasn't alone. She had Frank's wisdom, Kevin's technical skills, and most importantly, she had the support of millions of people around the world who had been helped by her decisions. The aliens were watching to see if humanity could prove that its better nature was stronger than its darker impulses. The answer would determine the future of the entire human race. The threat came sooner than Lisa expected. 3 days after the aliens warned her about world leaders planning to take control, military forces surrounded the main distribution centers in 5 different countries. Lisa was at the command center in Chicago when Frank burst through the door with urgent news. "They're moving now," Frank said. "Soldiers are trying to take over the medical facilities in Germany, Brazil, India, South Africa, and Australia." Lisa felt her heart racing. "What do they want?" "They want to redirect the alien medicine to their own populations first. They're saying it's a matter of national security." Lisa picked up her alien communication device. "What should I do? If I fight them, people might get hurt. But if I let them take control, the poorest people in the world will lose their medicine." Frank sat down next to her. "Lisa, remember what you learned from working in the emergency room. When there's a crisis, you don't panic. You focus on saving lives." Lisa nodded and activated the worldwide communication system that connected her to medical teams everywhere. "This is Lisa Martinez, speaking to all medical distribution teams. Some military forces are trying to take control of our facilities. I want everyone to stay calm and avoid violence. Our job is to heal people, not fight them." Then she had an idea. "I'm ordering all teams to immediately begin emergency distribution of medicine to the local populations around each facility. Give the medicine directly to people who need it most. Don't wait for official approval. Just help people." Within hours, something remarkable happened. The medical teams began distributing medicine as fast as they could. But instead of hiding from the soldiers, they invited them to help. "We have medicine for your families too," the medical workers told the soldiers. Your children and elderly relatives can be healed just like everyone else. Many soldiers were confused. They had been ordered to seize the alien medicine for their governments, but the medical teams were offering to share it freely. In Germany, a soldier named Klaus was guarding a medical center when a doctor approached him. "Excuse me," the doctor said. "I heard your daughter has been sick with a rare blood disease. We have medicine that can cure her completely. Would you like me to treat her?" Klaus stared at the doctor. "You would help my daughter? Even though I'm here to stop you?" "Of course. That's what doctors do. We help sick people." Similar scenes happened at military locations around the world. Soldiers who came to seize medicine found medical workers eager to share it with their families. Lisa watched reports from around the world with amazement. "Frank, look at this. The soldiers aren't fighting the medical teams. They're helping them distribute medicine." Frank smiled. Patricia always said that kindness was contagious. When people see genuine care, they want to be part of it. But not everyone was convinced. Some world leaders became angry when their military forces started cooperating with the medical teams instead of seizing control. The president of a powerful country called Lisa directly, "Miss Martinez, you are undermining national security. I demand that you give my country priority access to the alien medicine." Lisa took a deep breath. "Mr. President, your country already has excellent hospitals and medicine. There are children dying in refugee camps who have never seen a doctor. They need help first. That's not your decision to make. You're just a nurse." "You're right. I am just a nurse. But the aliens chose me to make these decisions, and I'm going to keep making them based on who needs help most, not who has the most power." The president ended the call angrily, but Lisa felt proud of herself. She was learning to stand up for what was right even when powerful people threatened her. Kevin called her that evening with exciting news. "Lisa, you should see what's happening at the universities. Students from all over the world are volunteering to help with the medical program. They're calling themselves the Global Health Corps." "That's wonderful, Kevin. And there's more. Remember how Frank taught me about physics? Well, some of the alien technology is based on principles I understand now. I think I can help improve the medicine production process." Lisa felt proud of her brother. Frank's teaching had given Kevin the knowledge to contribute to something important. The next morning, Lisa received a message from the Galactic Confederation. "Lisa Martinez, we have completed our evaluation of humanity. Please prepare for a final meeting." Lisa and Frank went to a special location the aliens had designated, the same park where Frank used to tutor Kevin. A small alien ship landed there, and 3 alien beings stepped out. They looked somewhat like humans, but taller and with larger eyes. Their skin had a slight blue tint, and they moved very gracefully. "Greetings, Lisa Martinez and Franklin Hayes," said the lead alien in perfect English. "I am Ambassador Zena of the Galactic Confederation." Lisa felt nervous, but tried to stay calm. "Hello, Ambassador Zena. Thank you for coming to meet us. We have watched your species carefully during this test. We have seen both your capacity for violence and your capacity for compassion. Today, we will announce our decision about humanity's future." Frank stepped forward. "Ambassador, before you make your decision, I want to apologize for what happened 3 years ago. The violence that killed your people and my wife should never have happened." Ambassador Zena looked at Frank with kind eyes. "Franklin Hayes, we do not blame you for the actions of others. You and your wife Patricia tried to prevent violence. We honored her sacrifice by naming our Earth observation program the Patricia Project." Frank had tears in his eyes. "You named it after her?" "Patricia Hayes represented the best of humanity. She died trying to protect our children. We wanted to find more humans like her." The ambassador turned to Lisa. "We found one. Lisa Martinez, your decisions during the medical distribution test have shown us that humans can choose fairness over selfishness, even when pressured by powerful forces." Lisa felt relieved but also curious. What happens now? Now humanity becomes the newest member of the Galactic Confederation. You, Lisa Martinez, will serve as Earth's first ambassador to the galaxy. Lisa's mouth fell open. Me? But I don't know anything about space politics or alien cultures. You know about the most important thing. You know how to care for others and make fair decisions. Those are the qualities we value most in our leaders. Frank smiled at Lisa. I told you that you were the right choice. Ambassador Zena continued. We will help Earth develop advanced technology, but slowly and carefully. We want to make sure it's used to help all humans, not just the wealthy and powerful. What about the medical program we started? Lisa asked. It will continue and expand. We will build permanent medical centers in every country, starting with the areas that need help most. Frank Hayes will lead the scientific development program. Frank looked surprised. You want me to work for the Confederation? You understand? Both human and alien perspectives. You can help prevent the mistakes that led to tragedy before. Over the following months, everything changed. Lisa became Earth's ambassador to a community of dozens of alien species. She learned about worlds beyond imagination and helped make decisions that affected entire solar systems. But she never forgot her roots. 3 days a week, she still worked as a nurse at Chicago General Hospital. She wanted to stay connected to the work that had made her who she was. Frank established the Patricia Hayes Foundation, which built schools that taught both advanced science and ethics. Students learned that knowledge should be used to help others, not to gain power over them. Kevin became one of the first humans to study at an alien university. He learned about technologies that could help solve Earth's energy and environmental problems. The medical program continued to expand. Diseases that had killed millions of people for thousands of years were eliminated. But the program always prioritized the most vulnerable people first. One morning, Lisa was walking to work when she saw a young homeless woman sitting outside her building. Without thinking, Lisa stopped and offered her food and coffee. Thank you, the woman said. You're very kind. Lisa smiled. We all need to look out for each other. As she walked away, Lisa realized that becoming an ambassador to the galaxy hadn't changed the most important thing about her. She still believed in helping people, one person at a time. Frank joined her at the bus stop as he often did now. Still bringing food to people who need it? He asked. Some things never change, Lisa said. And some things shouldn't change. Frank nodded. Patricia would have liked you very much. I wish I could have met her. In a way, you did. Every time you choose kindness over fear, every time you help someone who can't help you back, you're living the way she lived. Lisa looked up at the sky, where alien ships now moved peacefully alongside human aircraft. The world had become something amazing, but it had started with something simple. One person caring enough to share her sandwich with a stranger. Sometimes the biggest changes in the universe begin with the smallest acts of kindness. Lisa had learned that lesson well, and now she was teaching it to the stars.